This right here is Cooper Flagg, and after he takes it right at Dylan Brooks and initiates the contact, you see exactly why the Mavericks signed him for $62 million. Yeah, when you get a 19-year-old rookie who showcases that he's fearless like this, you have no problem going all in. I know some people will point to other rookies in the league and say that they're better, but you have to take into account that Flagg has been drafted to a team that has deep turmoil and is now looked at as the #1 guy to bring them out of that dark place. This here isn't easy for a rookie, and when you look at his numbers of 20 points per game, 6 rebounds and 4 assists, it might not really move the needle when you see he's converting at a 48% rate from the field and 30% from deep, but here's the thing that a lot of people are missing. It's more about the eye test when evaluating rookies, especially the ones in Flagg's position, and man oh man do things look promising. For one, he's not afraid to go at defenses, such as when receiving the screen here, he gets a switch on a Trent, and as you can see, this entire right side is open to attack, but rather than attacking immediately, Flagg goes between the legs when Trent gambles on the steal, which allows him to flow right into a spin-off going down this right side, and now with Giannis waiting for him at the rim, most rookies would shy away from going all the way in, but Cooper loves the contact and takes it right at him for the clutch bucket. Other times when Cooper is able to get past his defender to get downhill, he could very well try to score over Green on this rotation. But here's where his quick decision making comes in handy, as PJ is open on his backside and this leads to an easy two-hander for 2 points. Trust me, it's not often you get a rookie who can create for not only himself, but for his teammates as well, and if he's to be attacking inside and is met by the big, it's not like the play is simply over. Cooper just bounces deeper into the lane to make the big play the drive, plants that pivot to spin back, and this is pure money. Yeah, this is exactly what I mean. It's extremely valuable to be able to see different spots to operate out on the floor, and this is what you get from Flagg when he steps on the hardwood. Such as when you're attacking, you're gonna have to make moves on the fly. So when the defender tries to cut off your drive, that's when you switch directions by way of spin move. Then when the help defender steps up, this one is time to choose to go score, or with a man open on the backside, why not set him up for the alley-oop connection? Now hold on, this isn't to say that Flagg is some amazing passer or anything like that, but it's a slight glimpse into how he can see the floor. Making reads out the pick and roll when the defense shifts to then hit the wide open man in the corner shows you that he's always thinking 2 steps ahead of defenders, and it plays right into his ability to score the ball. If he's to not have it initially, Flagg will slip behind defenders when they're sleeping and go score with little resistance, and it's at this exact moment when his man turns his head that Cooper moves into position to set himself up for success. Movement without the ball from someone his size and his age is huge to see already, as when he catches the ball, he never really needs to do a whole lot. All it takes is one dribble off the handoff to then rise up over his defender, and other times, he'll understand that if he is to attack going right, this angle could be clogged up by the help defense. And then if he attacks left, the baseline acts as a secondary help defender as well, so with that height advantage, he just rises over Keontae George with no dribbles to bury it home. When you study his game, it's very simple but fun to watch. And it all breaks down to 3 key areas of skill that allow him to be effective. One being his scoring from less than 5 feet at 63%, the second being his mid-range creation at 41%, and last but not least is his 49% scoring off floaters. All 3 of these give Cooper the best chance to break defenses, and when diving into his attacking, you'll quickly notice that he's just fearless when taking it to the rack. When he gets that time and space to plan his attack, he'll spot the opening he wants to get to, and if guys fall even a step behind, that's when they end up on a poster. It's not that Cooper's the fastest guy or anything, but it's subtle moves such as this hesitation that allows him to blow by his defender when they step up so he can go score inside, and when going back to the fundamentals, all it takes is a jab step to shake his defender, and when attacking, he uses that bump to create some space, waits for the defense to bite on the head fake, and uses that up and under to spin this off the glass with some finesse. This fearlessness leads to him not second guessing himself when he's on the floor, as he's not afraid to pull out that handle to shift James Harden before getting the layup here. When he's coming up the floor versus Sixers, Grimes tries to press up on him, but when you commit heavy one way, it always leaves you vulnerable to get beat, so that's when we see Flagg use the behind the back to shed the defense before gliding to the basket. And just like that last example, when the weight of your pressure is heavy on a certain side, a good offensive player will use that against you by using it to his advantage to get downhill, and right here, you can see Sarr coming over to contest. Now you can try and go straight up, but Cooper decides to use that acrobatic skill set of his to adjust in mid-air around Sarr to kiss this off the glass with the left hand. This attacking nature is great to see from your rookie early on, as it can spark energy for your team, and if you were trading for the Mavericks like I did when they played the Spurs, you would have won big on Polymarket. I know that Dallas tends to come out slow, so I traded in when they were down 8-16 as the Spurs came out hot shooting 75%, which put the Mavs at 40% odds to win. With that lighting a fire in them, the Mavs turned it up a gear from that point on to take the lead in the second quarter, where they came out shooting 79% to go up 51-49 off a Klay Thompson three-pointer. And at that point, I immediately cashed out at 74%, netting myself an 85% profit. To get in on this action in all 50 states, make sure you download the app from the link in my description to get to the top of the waitlist. Now before we dive deeper into the next section of Flagg's game, there's something we have to highlight that will bridge the next skill set, and that's his navigation skills on the floor. He's great at making defenders react to him, acting like he's going one way, but in reality, it's the empty side he wants to attack, and now you're watching him slam it through. Cooper's always giving the defense something to think about, even if it's simple, such as on this closeout, he uses an up fake and a jab step to make his defender shift more towards his right side, so now Flagg can attack towards the middle. Notice that he's going to run into a double if he continues, so he waits for a split second to then change direction with that spin move to attack the basket, and instead of going up immediately, he used that up fake to make the defense look goofy and then steps right through to go score. Spotting traps or closed angles like this is where Flagg can always find his way to the basket no matter what. So even if you do stop him from attacking one way, he isn't just shut down, as he'll attack back the other way and still get his points. The reason this is so important is because when creating your own shot, you have to be extra creative, especially when it's in the mid-range. Not every shot will be as easy as getting to your spot to rise up over the top, or a jab into a one dribble pull up. So if you want to be effective in this in-between area, you have to be able to use that handle to break a defender off to create separation before sending it up, and sometimes that may come from you initiating some contact to send your defender back and then pulling up right over him. One thing you'll notice with Flagg is that he's extremely comfortable using his body to knock defenders off balance before letting it fly, and although some of you will call it an offensive foul, learning how to move defenders while also adding in a step back gives you that much needed space to knock down shots with no problem. Furthermore, this mid-range acts as a release valve for Cooper for those times when his drive gets cut off, because unlike earlier where he would just change directions to still attack the basket, Flagg will now accept that cutoff and instead flow right into a turnaround jumper. This here is huge for him, because with his 6'9" height, he can use his turnaround to score over smaller defenders when they do everything they can to keep him out the paint, and then other times when he has a mismatch, he can pair that bump we touched on earlier with that turnaround, and this is just too easy. Now I'm not saying that Cooper is unstoppable in the mid-range, as he still has some room to grow in this area, but for the times that the defense does stop Flagg from going all the way inside, and also do limit his ability to pull up, that's when he uses that floater before meeting the big man to drop it in with that soft touch. I'm telling you, having this in your back pocket at his size is key for his scoring going forward, as he can now tie in that handle and ability to take contact to still get the bucket in close. And when he does get all the way to the paint but doesn't want to bother with that contact, that's when he can spin away from it and still use that floater to kiss this off the window. If you ask me, the floater is something everyone needs in their bag, so for the times when they least expect it, you can get a bucket without having to fight through much contact or jittery defense. These skills of Flagg make me believe he could be the Rookie of the Year, simply because he can do so many things on the floor and is on a team where he is the main factor. Most rookies freeze in the spotlight while some thrive. And since we're talking about rookies, I want you all to watch the Dylan Harper video next to see who you would pick between him and Cooper Flagg to have on your team. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload.